see you on the phone lines, 844-500-4242, and I will get to you in a second. But this article, Dr. Fauci needs to be held responsible for COVID-19 mistakes. It's from the New York Post. I will tweet it out. But it breaks down all of those mistakes. It mentions the mask comment, which he made in March before the pandemic really, kicked into gear. And it also mentions a few other things. Yet astonishingly, Fauci told CNN Friday that a lack of candor from the Trump administration had cost American lives. If people's lives really were at stake last year, why did he wait until now to tell us? The guy I fought the most with, so this is from Peter Navarro, and I find this to be very interesting because I'd never heard this story before. He said he was talking about the China travel ban, which saved countless lives. I mean, we don't even know how many more people would have died of this pandemic. This is what Navarro said. The guy I fought with the most that day was Fauci. He was adamantly opposed to the travel ban. All he kept saying was travel restrictions don't work. Navarro pushed back. If you stop 20,000 Chinese nationals coming in every day and some are infected, you're telling me that's not going to spread the virus? It was like talking to a brick wall. Then there was Fauci's advice on masks. I'm skipping around here. Back in March, when the coronavirus was decimating New York, he told us masks were useless, which we just heard. Now, he said Fauci last week gushed about how liberating it was to work for Joe Biden. One of the new things in this administration is if you don't know the answer, don't guess. Just say you don't know the answer. That would suit Fauci because for an expert, he never seems to know the answer to anything. And it's so true. But he pretends to know the answer. Or he's very convincing that he knows the answer. And then a few weeks later, he'll change his mind and pretend that he never said that in the first place. Russ, you're next with Grace on the Grace Curley Show. Go ahead, Russ.
Grace, believe me, Howie Carr gave John Kerry the nickname Live Shot. Well, believe me, as far as I'm concerned, Fauci now is the champion of the live shot.
Yeah.
He's nothing. He has a Napoleon complex. In my 73 years on this earth, I'm sick and tired of listening to the panic peddlers who are always out to lunch, and those who believe and get sucked in by the panic peddlers are ignorant of history. Now, panic peddlers should never be given center stage speaking for our government. And really, I'll tell you, it really, really aggravates the hell out of me the more I think of it. And let me give all of those that get sucked into the government BS, okay? The name of this game is germ avoidance. Just remember those two words. Use your own brains, avoid germs, and you'll survive this thing.
Yeah, wash your hands. It's good advice. Charlie Baker gave us that advice a lot. Wash your hands, but it's true. And another thing I wanted to say about this is I think we should play another clip here because Fauci just... I want to replay the clip, and I want you to listen to what he says towards the end, because the reason the clip went viral was obviously because people were like, does Fauci have a crush on Rachel Maddow? Why is he flirting with her on live TV? It's kind of embarrassing. But what I really noticed, and here's the thing. The other day, Joe Biden was signing executive orders. He looked like he had no idea what he was signing. It's like you give an old person a paper and say, sign this over. And they're signing over like their entire real estate portfolio to some scammer. That's what it looked like. He was just signing blindly. And so he's signing that. And one of the reporters asked him if his coronavirus plan was ambitious enough. And classic Joe Biden, he got his back up and he snapped and he said, come on, man, set up a straw man. You guys said that it wasn't possible. And then he got shuffled off by his handlers. They're really, really good at getting him out of those situations. They shuffle the press off very aggressively, and they get Biden out of the room. And what I noticed was Dr. Fauci was standing behind Biden when it was happening, and he kind of was just watching it. And he saw Trump at those press conferences. He saw how much Trump went back and forth with all those reporters. And he knows that the guy we have in there now could not handle 1/18th of what Trump handled on a daily basis. And the look on Fauci's face was like he knew it. He was watching Biden get brought out the back, and he knew that this guy is not up to snuff. He can't do it. And listen to what he says with Rachel Maddow. He's celebrating being on her show. He's so happy about it. But listen to the end when he talks about people won't be happy about how often they see some people. Let's play it again.
Test assess, Rachel. I've been wanting to come on your show for months and months. You've been asking me to come on your show for months and months, and it's just gotten blocked. let's call it what it is. It just got blocked because they didn't like the way you handle things, and they didn't want me on there. I mean, it was so clear when we sent it down. Why would you want to go on Rachel Maddow's show? Well, because I like her and she's really good. It doesn't make any difference. Ugh. Don't do it. I don't think you're going to see that now. I think you're going to see a lot of transparency. You know, you might not see everybody as often as you want, but you're not going to see deliberate holding back of good people when the press asks for them.
That's him. You're not going to see them blocking my interviews. We're going to see more of Fauci is what he's saying. He doesn't think he got enough airtime during the Trump administration. Beg to differ, sir. You were on Socks and Wallets and portrayed on SNL by Brad Pitt. No one got more coverage than Dr. Fauci. And he's saying you might not see some people you want, the president of the United States, because he can't handle the questions, he's too feeble. But you're going to see more of me. And isn't that what you guys wanted? Aren't I who you elected? Oh, wait. There was no election for Dr. Fauci. He's King Fauci. We just got him. You know, it was God above who decided we deserve Dr. Fauci. It's really unbelievable what he says at the end. Because it's exactly what I was thinking the whole time. We're not going to see President Biden, and he knows it. And I'll retweet that video when Biden set up the straw man. It was like you could see it in Fauci's eyes that he knew exactly what it was now. He wasn't going to... The reason he doesn't like Donald Trump is because Donald Trump, like him or hate him, when he's in the room, he's the boss. When he was the president, he was the leader. And Dr. Fauci didn't like that because he wanted to go on Rachel Maddow. And now that we have President Joe Biden sitting there, maybe he'll get a segment on Rachel Maddow. Maybe he'll get to go on weekly.
It's basically like the substitute teacher theory.
Yes.
You know, it's like, all right, substitute teacher, all right, we're going to do this today. We're going to, hey, I don't have to, whatever.
Wheel in the TV. We're going to watch a movie. Or you know what, Jared, it kind of reminds me of is when you had the substitute teacher and you'd say things like, well, Mrs. Smith always lets us stay outside for an extra 10 minutes. Like, imagine what he's saying to Joe Biden.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, no, send me. I'll do the press hits. That's what the Trump administration used to like. This guy is an egomaniac. And for a long time, I just thought maybe I just don't get him. Maybe I'm just, being a little critical. But that interview where he is just slobbering over Rachel Maddow. And then we have Dr. Birx. And she's upset about something too. All of these people who for months and months had no problem showing up with their scarves on and their fancy clothes and telling everybody to keep it on the lockdown. They all have issues now that time has passed. The timing is amazing. This is Dr. Birx saying, let's just play. This is cut 11.
I understood that to go into the White House and try to support a comprehensive coronavirus response by utilizing the strength of the federal government would be a terminal event for my federal career, which is part of the reason why I didn't want to do it.
Terminal event.
Terminal event. I know that I wouldn't be allowed to really continue successfully within the federal government.
I don't think, now, Jared, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think the terminal part of her career had anything to do with being at the White House. I think it was when she told all Americans that they weren't allowed to travel, and then she traveled with her family on Thanksgiving with multiple households to, I believe, winterize her second home. Am I getting that right?
That is a what we call a comorbidity in the business to her terminality. Underlying condition.
Dr. Diglio is in session. That's a comorbidity. It's really amazing. So that's Trump's fault, too. That's what she's saying. I knew if I started working with the Trump administration, I would never be able to, keep my career going. I think people were pretty fair to everyone in the Trump administration as far as the doctors were concerned. As long as they said enough negative stuff, enough doom and gloom, and criticized Trump enough, the liberal media loved them. I mean, if Dr. Birx had really stood up for Trump, or if any of these doctors had really stood up for Trump, well, we saw what happened with the Surgeon General. He was fired.
Right.
That's someone who you could say it was terminal for their career because they actually defended Trump. I mean, as far as Dr. Birx and Dr. Fauci, they gave the liberal media enough. They showed that they didn't like Trump just enough with their behavior and with the way they looked at Trump during the press conferences and with the stuff they said in their media hits. The only time people got mad at Dr. Birx was when she threw out the winterizing her home. When the entire country is struggling because of your lockdowns, talking about your second home and how sad your parents are that they haven't been able to socialize, it's a tough move. It's a tough PR move to make, Dr. Birx. I don't think it had anything to do with your decision to work in the federal government, but nice try. These people are so predictable. 844-500-4242. We have a lot more to get to. I promise it's not all Fauci and Dr. Birx. We have some great cuts. In the next segment, I'm going to play Rand Paul. He really roasted George Stephanopoulos, and it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. Rand Paul is great under pressure. He's great on those interviews. And you know why? Because he does not stop talking. When he says his point, people try to interrupt, deride, derail, and he just will not listen. He just keeps going. We're going to have that cut for you. I promise you, you're going to love it. Who says there is no such thing as a free lunch? Well, not me. That's because with my friends at Aviva Trattoria, we'll be giving away a free lunch every other Friday here at the studio. So we gave away a free lunch this past Friday. Our VIPs are coming in this Friday, and Aviva Trattoria is going to bring in so much delicious food. I'm a huge fan of their chicken parm. Jared loves their pizza. They have delicious salads. Really, any kind of food you like, they have it at Aviva Trattoria. To sign up, go to gracecurleyshow.com and enter your email. I'll be selecting new winners next Friday. I hope when Anthony and Marcy come in, they bring all my favorites. Like I said, chicken parm. But whatever they bring, I know it will be great. From seafood to their homemade pasta, Aviva has you covered. Whatever you like, whatever your style, they make delicious food, and they're the nicest people. They also have 4 convenient locations in Marlborough, Maynard, Wrentham, and Westford. Takeout is available too. To enter to win the Aviva VIP lunch, go to gracecurleyshow.com. That's gracecurleyshow.com. When we get back, we have more sound for you guys, and we're going to keep talking about Dr. Fauci and Rachel Maddow. 844-500-4242. I'm Grace Curley, and this is The Grace Curley Show.
You're listening to The Grace